Peace, loves. Thank you for joining here. Thank you for joining me here in this moment. My name is Christina, and I wanted to come to you guys with a different type of video today. Diagnoses hits different when you are on a journey of health, when you have done your research in regard to how what you consume, what you put in your body affects everything. It affects the way that you eat, it affects the way that you feel, it affects the way that you live. And the hardest thing for someone on this type of journey is to get news of a diagnosis of a family member in regard to their body failing them because of all of the garbage that they have been putting in their body. It's so hard, and I'm gonna try not to get emotional. It is so hard, and it's just so wild how we wait into the last minute to do something about, because like when these diagnoses happen, I mean, it takes time. It takes multiple moments of not feeling good in your body. It takes not feeling good in your mind before you even get a diagnosis. But we wait until the pain becomes extreme, until we can't take it no more before we go and we get the treatment that we need. And by that time, it's too late. And in those moments, I just ask myself, what am I doing that for? And as I ask myself, the answer is being provided for that reason. But it's like, what is the whole purpose of what it is that I'm doing, just so that I can, just going through that suffering of having to bear witness of the people that I love, of the people in my life, putting bullshit in their bodies and not being angry about it, and having to have a certain level of compassion, having to have a certain level of understanding, getting the lesson, whatever it means. But I'm still human. And I just think to myself, what can I do? How can I be a better example? How can I put out this education more? Like, what is it that I can do so that these things won't happen? Because something as simple, and I know it's not simple, it's easier said than done, but something as simple as changing the way that you eat, changing what you put into your mouth, changing what you put into your mouth. Can just change you in so many ways, can uplift and enliven you in so many ways. And I feel like, in a sense, just like what it would be like for the people who are getting these types of diagnoses, as well as the people who are on their health journeys and are being the example of a healthy person. It's a wake-up call. For me, it's a wake-up call to get on my shit. Like, to really get on my shit. And I don't really even know what that is gonna look like for me. But I mean, the vision's becoming even more clear as time goes on and things of this nature comes up in my reality. It's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call. And it's no longer to the point to where it's older members of the family. When it starts to hit the ones that are my age, the youth, it hits different. It hits different. And it hurts. It hurts to see the people that you grow up with, side by side, hip buddies, butt buddies, suffering due to lack of knowledge of health. And I'm just like, due to lack of knowledge of health. And we as a community have to do better at educating and not idolizing certain lifestyles, certain lifestyle choices. Seeing our culture on our plate, because the bullshit that we eating is not our culture. You know it's your culture when your food enhances your being, not take away from it. It's not your culture if people are dying from the food. That's someone else's culture, not ours. Excuse my hand, y'all. But I came on here because I know somebody gonna feel this. I know somebody gonna feel this. And to say, acknowledge that, hey, shoot, I am hurt. I'm hurt. I can't help but to worry. And a lot of things are easier said than done. I'm not perfect. I don't try to be. I'm human. Not saying I'm limited or anything like that, but I can acknowledge that when it hit close to home, I mean, and for me, it's always hit close to home, which has made me be on my grind even more when it comes to this health stuff. I don't do this for the sake of it. For me, it's a revolution. For me, it's fighting. For me, it's fighting for my life and for my sanity, for my well-being, because I've seen way too many people die from what they put into their mouth. So it's not a fad for me. It's not a fad for me. I just hope that this video reaches someone, and I hope that it brings an awareness of being aware, being mindful, being conscious, being picky, being choosy of what you choose to put in your temple. This is a whole God body created in the likeness of God, and we have to treat it as such. We have to. Our life depends on it. The life of our children depends on it. The fact, like the thought of losing someone. Come on now. Man. Yeah, I just want to come on here to share that with you guys. To share some real life, what one would call some real nigga shit. Like, excuse my French, but it is what it is. And this is real life. real life raw. We have to do better. We have to do better as a community. At one point, people used to laugh and make fun of, hey, Christina, look at what I got. Look at what I'm eating. As if it's a joke to put bullshit in your system. And we don't even look to the elders for that wisdom anymore. If we just look at the people who came before us and to see how far that got them eating that bullshit, ignorant. And I don't say it in a way to demean anyone. I don't say it in a way to make it seem like I'm better than anyone, but it's like literally being in a state of ignorance. Being in a state of ignorance and not wanting to go through the necessary steps in order to make those changes. Not wanting to go through the necessary steps to better yourself. And I get it, like, I can't even say that there's no examples because there are examples everywhere. It's what we choose. We gotta stop playing victim to circumstance because we are not. I don't know who needs to hear this. I do not know who needs to hear this. I do not know who needs to hear this, but everyone knows how this system that we live in, how it perpetuates this, what am I trying to say? This system of this environment that keeps us, that does not want us to be healthy. That does not want us to be healthy. That's what I'm trying to say. Eating food that literally disrupts our whole bodily process. That disrupts our whole bodily process. We're not even able to function the right way. We're not even able to function in our right mind because of the food that we eat. And we wonder why people are having mental illnesses. We are wondering why people cannot function, why people are sick, why people are unhealthy, because their body can't do what it does. Because of what we choose to put in our mouths. Because that's a reflection of everything. What someone chooses to eat will tell you so much about a person. My message is to be choosy. My message is to love yourself so much that you do everything in your power to have control over what you're consuming, and to consume in a way that is loving yourself. That's loving yourself, not for the pleasure. Yes, enjoy what it is that you consume, but love yourself in regard to make sure that you are feeding your body what it needs so that it can be optimal. Feed your mind, feed your spirit what it needs so that it can be optimal, so that you can show up in this world and be exactly who you need to be. Exactly who you are. It's time, y'all. It's time. Peace, loves.